So at this point in the series, I'm probably going to start to skip over maybe 1 or 2 turns over the break and steadily increasing that as we get further into the campaign. Now, I only skipped 1 turn over the break, and nothing happened except for the Mayans did take this Aztec city away, and that's a pretty big deal, because let's not forget that the Texans are also attacking the Aztecs, so the Aztecs might fall in Central America. Obviously, they have their Caribbean cities, but those probably won't last long either as soon as a naval power rises up. Now, I realize that I'm probably going to have to... From the very beginning, I knew that I was going to have to skip some turns, and I've been doing that normally in AI-only battles, except I usually do them a little bit later. I'll probably be starting soon. It's about 2:25 on video 12, so that's not bad. I'm surprised that we have been... I think we've been speeding through this. In the past, I mean, man, we've really kind of grinded away sometimes looking at... Or I guess not really grinded away, maybe moving too slowly through turns at times. Ashanti's still having trouble taking the Moroccan city, by the way. But yeah, we're going to have to definitely skip over maybe 1 or 2 turns, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 5 at some point, maybe in the 400s, because I know a lot of people want me to go pretty far into the game, especially on Emperor difficulty. We want to see those high techs. We want to see everyone have nuclear missiles. We want to see everybody have, giant death robots and things like that. And I'm sure by then we'll have some very, very big, interesting, great powers in all areas of the world. Also, the Ethiopians very close to taking over Mali, but they still need to navigate a little bit better. Yep, they're having an issue there. But yeah, so I'm going to start doing that. Maybe about 2 or 3 turns will go by during the break, and I'll fill everybody in. Anyways, there's still going to be, at least I thought, there's going to be a rumble in the desert. Even if there's not, it looks like Harun al-Rashid might be able to sneak by, capture this city really quick, just to maybe kill some of the population. And that would definitely hurt Darius by quite a bit. I mean, 6 population to go down to 3. By the time Darius recaptures, it'd probably be down to 1. Yeah, that'd be a pretty big deal. Byzantium also now going towards the Arabian Peninsula. Byzantium losing 1 city to the Persians last video, which is a pretty big deal. Also, Rome settled another city just off of this former Carthaginian city. There is the pikeman. Okay, well, you better protect your pikeman, man. You better watch that. Still, more coastal cities for the Ashanti to acquire. That's big. The Ashanti are, I think, going to be possibly a naval powerhouse if they focus on that path in the campaign. Yeah, so Arabia did take over this city, but that's going to really make Darius mad. I'm surprised the Mughals haven't decided to go after Persia when Persia's not even defended at all back home and back east. Not really at all. Rome's going after Mali now. Last second, they're going to try to, I guess, squeeze in and take Ethiopia somehow. Or, yeah, squeeze in through Ethiopia. We've got Sweden and Russia declaring war on Bismarck. We're still waiting to see what Greece does, because Greece really didn't lose much at all to that first, that Austrian war. But, Sweden and Russia really won't be able to do much here. Russia needs to declare war on someone like Poland if they want to continue to invade Europe. Russia will be the power, I think, out of Europe. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know. If Russia decides to continue to settle and maybe not be as aggressive, then maybe Greece has a potential of maybe grabbing these 4 cities to the north. Maybe Rome has the potential of grabbing French cities. Rome might potentially be able to be a threat to the Russian power, but it really depends. Rome has continued to be pretty aggressive with their settling, and that's usually how they're programmed. Yep, they were not able to do this. The Boer will make sure that they get the job done, I guess, taking out Mali, if Ethiopia's not. If Portugal was smart, they would just sneak in right now. Portugal could sneak in and take the Moroccan capital. No, they don't have many things here. Arabia going after Morocco. France and Arabia going after Mali. We've got Greece and Mali piecing out, so that's kind of the new target. It was Denmark before. Man, Ethiopia. Well, maybe Ethiopia didn't want to take this city for a reason. I feel like they didn't. I can't explain why they wouldn't have just crossed this territory and then, crossed this tile and then went onward. Doesn't make much sense. Wow, Korea and Mongolia finally pieced out. Did they piece for cities? Ooh. India and Siam. They did not piece. Oh, they did. Korea gained a city from that. They gained at least one city from that. Yeah, that's a big pickup for Korea. But Mongolia is still out there settling. Still very expansive. India Siam is going to be... Wait, no. Hold on. India Siam... I didn't even know that India was still alive, to be honest. Where is India at? Oh, India's over here. That's right. Forget about that. Oh, they're going to be fine. Well, the Koreans went to war with India too, so maybe not. And the Koreans could really use this city. Both Siam and Korea could, but Korea could desperately. Also, Korea has their turtle ships. Japan needs to be careful. Japan has been slightly disappointing. I mean, they've played better than they have in the past. Looks like they're going to get a fifth city eventually. Portugal and Persia both settling the tip of... I think they're going to settle the tip of southern India. As well as Persia gained this city back, their former city back. But they're not very aggressive with continuing to pursue the Arabians. I mean, the Arabians really don't have a military at all, so I don't know... Really don't know what you're doing. Ethiopia surrounding that Portuguese colony. And the Boers should be able to take over this city. It felt like Ethiopia just let them do it. That's what it really feels like. How many civs are still left in this campaign? We still have a lot. It really feels like a lot. I keep forgetting that a lot of these civs haven't been destroyed. Like Mali will finally be destroyed. Morocco has 3 cities. They should be destroyed, but they probably won't be. The Huns should be destroyed. They only have 1 city too. I forgot. When did Rome declare war on France? If they can have a successful war here, which this is actually tremendous for Greece. Oh, you know what? I think Greece is in a war. Oh, they have open borders with Poland, right? They might be at war with Germany. Oh no, they're at war with Poland, aren't they? I think I just saw that. I think I saw that right. Unless it just broke out, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't miss any notifications, right? I don't think so. No, so that must be one of those lasting wars. It must have been going on for a while since Vienna was captured. Now there's actually a front. Well, this is actually good for Alexander because Rome is going to be very distracted with Portugal, Spain, and France back in the west. So Greece can kind of, potentially lose a lot of units here and still be okay, not have to feel a threat from Augustus kind of breathing down his neck. Ooh, Russia dealing with some barbarians. So clearly they're not super happy. Greece going for more cities in the north. And without Persia being more aggressive, they are going to allow Russia to do whatever they want, especially if Russia decides to move down towards the south. Thing is, Persia and Babylon can't be working together. There needs to be one power arising out of this region because Russia's going to divide and conquer if she decides to attack to the south. Ooh, Persia is going to continue to pursue the Byzantium War. Portugal and Arabia have peaced out. And let's go ahead and check on Australia. There really hasn't been much going on in the Pacific at all. When did this war break out? I feel like, am I missing notifications or what? I might be. Maybe when maybe I'm not scrolling up all the way and new wars are breaking out. No new settling has happened. Indonesia hasn't settled anymore. Persia's still looking for a spot. Yep, these two did settle down there. I have no idea when that war broke out. That's scary. Well, this is going to be somewhat even, although it looks like Australia's behind in technology. They only have warrior units. But they do have pikemen. They have access to a pikeman, but they don't have as many as Kimberley. Either way, Australia will survive. France and Great Britain. All right. So that is an interesting one. Let's just continue to make sure that we're seeing all the conflicts that arise. Finally, a battle for Australia. I mean, even if Australia loses this, the Civ Australia loses this, they'll still be fine. They still have these cities to the north, which I think they'd have access to annexing if they obviously end up losing their capital. Anything else? Horn of Africa being settled by Ethiopia? It wasn't touched before. Boer, what are you doing? Take the city. Take the city, man. What's going on? Same thing goes for you, Ethiopia. Well, I'm sorry, Ashanti. Ashanti can attack with a lancer. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be a very efficient siege there. Persia and Arabia have pieced out. Bam. Okay, so this is a very aggressive move, but because France settled this coastal city along the English Channel, I should have realized this from the beginning that England was going to have a pretty natural time. This is like right up England's alley. Anyone that settles along maybe the North Sea or the English Channel is going to be invaded. It's going to be pretty easy, I think, for England to take them over. And finally have England go probably towards Ireland. Greece is going to go towards Iceland. Is Greece still at war with Poland? It looks like that. That's what it looks like. I need to remember that Greece has kind of colonies around the world by now. Yeah, they've got 3. At least 3. I think even more up in the north. So Greece really being a colonial powerhouse technically, even though they only have 5 back at home. That's still pretty good, though, for Europe. So they've got a privateer. The problem is right now for England, they're not using their ranged ships. There it goes. Okay, well, that city's going to fall, which is going to definitely make this much, much easier for Rome. Thing is, will England swoop in on Paris? That's what I want to know. Because, and bam, they finally took this over. Jeez, Ashanti. The thing is, though, Spain and Portugal still going to be providing a threat to Augustus back in the west of Iberia. So he won't be able to fully, I don't think he'll ever really be able to fully go for Orleans, maybe not even for Paris, because he's gonna always have to defend against the Iberian civs. Tibet declaring war on the Dutch, which makes me think that we might see some more declare war on the Dutch. Babylon's still at war with Arabia, I should mention that. Persia just wants more Byzantine cities. Turn 230. And this could have been a bigger pickup for Persia, but I guess not. The Middle East still very divided, even though Persia and Babylon kind of working together. Got a lot of Roman settlers, but Rome doesn't know where to send them. Yes, Rome does not know where to send them, and England will for sure take this city over. This is an interesting time to attack Napoleon with his musketmen, his musketeers. His unique musketeers, very powerful units. Probably not the best idea. There goes Rome attacking Paris. So France is going to have to make a choice here. Does France defend their capital or defend against the British push in the north? It's going to be interesting. There's another Chinookan ship. Chinookan? That's not it, right? Chinookan. Yeah, it is. Chinookan. Huh. That didn't sound right when it came out of my mouth, but I guess it is. Norway's going to settle. Looks like they're potentially their 4th city. Portugal also a big colonial powerhouse out of Europe, but they keep losing their colonies, and they're not very strong, so people aren't afraid to go to war with them. The Ashanti have given peace to Morocco. Did they peace out for a city? They did not. So Morocco's going to survive for a little bit longer. When has England moved yet? There's England's turn. And bam. So this city will fall. We'll see if they lose any units in the process. Looks like they did. Oh no, this privateer ran away. That was smart of them. Now they need to defend it. They do need to defend it. Novgorod versus the Netherlands. So people are building up against the Netherlands. But right now, the biggest threat to the Netherlands are all at war. The British are at war. The French are at war. The Romans and the Greeks are at war. I mean, Greece isn't even that big of a threat, but they still are at war. So now we're starting to see some European changes. Obviously, Vienna falling. That happened last turn. Rome continuing to settle. Russia grabbing Attila's court, which is a really big deal. I think that was a pretty big deal because now Russia can do whatever they want back towards the east. But the British was probably the most surprising. I didn't think they were ready for a war against the French, but I guess they are. And the siege of Paris will begin. That is, of course, if the AI decides to focus on Paris and not Orleans. They might focus accidentally on Orleans. This would be a big pickup, obviously, for the British if they can make this happen. Where'd that settler go? I thought they... Oh, there it is. You're moving towards the north. Why doesn't anybody want Ireland? Ireland's not bad. And America. America? Oh, whoa. America managed to take this Caribbean city away from the Aztecs. The Americans actually have a fleet. That's surprising. We'll see if they can take another one. The siege of the Aztec capital is also beginning. It's going to be a race between the Mayans and the Texans. Texans really need this. Yeah, the Texans really need this. Grand River is also about to get shut off from the rest of the Texan Empire. These citadels, I mean, the Sioux have not been reluctant to throw down any citadel wherever they want. Oh, man, this is getting interesting. We've seen a lot of civs die here. A lot of new civs coming to power. Congo's still winning the score game. Then it's Ethiopia. Then it's Sitting Bull of the Sioux. We've got Korea here in 4th place. Catherine in 5th. Theodora, I'm so surprised that they're still so high. Tibet as well, but Tibet has got a religion. That's something to keep in mind. The civs with the religion, you can't technically count them as high in the score list because they've got a big score because of their religion. I do need to look over religion. I forgot about that. It's been a lot of time has been going by. Did anything... Oh my gosh, why hasn't Mali been taken? I would like to see civs eventually fall because I know that that'll help with the processing of turns. So maybe that's not very nice of me, but I don't want civs to just sit there with... I know that doesn't take that long to go through their turn, but it's still like a millisecond faster, right? I think that makes a difference. Although it might, in turn, make it longer. Oh, we need to check on the Australian War. Nothing so far. It actually looks like Australia now has access to cannons, which Kimberley does not. This is a very kind of back and forth war. Really doesn't seem like either one has the advantage here. They're both just trying to defend, it kind of looks like. Japan, who was Japan going after? I think it was Kimberley or it was Indonesia. I don't think... in the Japanese-Indonesian war would have been... We would have known about that. I think it's Kimberley. I think so. Let's see what's going on with Paris. Yeah, so England's kind of moved back. They've allowed Rome to maybe start the siege. That's probably smart for England to utilize these range boats slowly. England's probably going to start to attack Orleans coastally, because they're not at war with Iberia. Ooh, Paris is in the yellow. Obviously, if Rome takes this, that'd be a huge victory for them. But if England, or I should say Great Britain, if Great Britain is the one to take it, that would be a big loss for Rome and a huge victory for the British. Very, very big if they could keep a hold of that. Because we know what happens when the British have a foothold like France in continental Europe. They can do a lot more. They've been able to. I've seen them do in the past a lot more with access to cities like this. A bigger foothold in Europe means more units that they can build and a bigger attack they can launch on other civs. While, of course, they're always going to be a naval powerhouse. So it's just all things that we got to, I guess, kind of keep in mind. Have there been any other wars? No. How is the Aztec capital? Texas is still struggling. Still a lot of Aztec units around. And looks like America is going to potentially try for the other Aztec Caribbean city. We've got our first ideology chosen. More than likely, it'll be autocracy or order. Probably autocracy since it's domination only. Probably not that big of a surprise. I wish I could delete notifications while we were processing turns. Oh, man, oh, man. I don't know what's happening, but apparently Mali must have some sort of secret ability to not allow people to attack them, I'm guessing. Has there been any more cities founded? We knew about Anaheim. Did I know about Eureka? Yeah, I think I did. Mongolia continuing to go crazy with the settling, even though they lost their war technically with the Koreans. And let's see. Oh, man, I'm not even going to be able to get to it. Oh, yeah, I will. Okay. The Sioux. I guess I could have just opened up the... I don't know why I didn't open up the ideology window. But anyways, no big surprise. The Sioux choosing autocracy. Not a big shocker there, but that will be interesting to see ideologies come into play because that's going to totally throw the diplomatic game into a loop. Persia settling in Southeast Asia and Vietnam still going for more cities. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.